Let's be honest, custody and placement fights are dynamite charged. Raw emotions, complicated issues, frustration, alienation. It's important to understand how custody and placement determinations are made, what mistakes you can make along the way, how you can correct those mistakes, and ultimately how you can determine your outcome in a divorce. So let's be honest. People mix up and confuse the terms custody and placement all the time. Sometimes they think they're the same thing, sometimes they flip them, sometimes they just don't know what they are. So let's go through this and straighten everyone out once and for all, okay? There's joint legal custody, sole legal custody, joint legal custody with impasse authority. There's shared placement, there's primary placement.
They're easy to interchange, and I find that people who are not from the state of Wisconsin are the first people to confuse this because other states find custody and placement all falls into one. Custody deals with the decision making. It deals with where your child's going to go to school. It deals with where they're going to go to church. It deals with whether or not they can get a driver's license at the age of 16. Those custodial decisions. The court is always going to value that each parent has an equal decision making process, has the ability to weigh in on those decision making factors. Placement deals with where your child is going to lay their head at night. So how many overnights are they going to be at one parent's house versus how many overnights are going to be at the other parent's house? Custody and placement's easy to confuse because you always hear them put together. But when you go into court understanding custodial decisions are going to be those decisions that we make together. Placement is, again, where your child's going to sleep at night. And how are placement arrangements going to be made? How are transportation arrangements going to be made? Who's going to pick up? Who is going to drop off? From what location is that going to happen? Who's going to have on specific holidays the minor child? Who's going to have over summer or spring breaks? How are those decisions going to be made? All encompasses placement.
So the court, if I'm saying this correctly and understanding this, the court starts at joint legal custody.
Correct.
So what are the alternatives?
So you can have sole custody where you're going to make all of the decisions for the minor child, or you can have custody with impasse authority. So let's say, for instance, father is out of the state most of the time, over the road, and is unable to make certain decisions. You can have mother having impasse authority where if something arises, such as a doctor's appointment, you can have joint legal custody with impasse authority over medical decisions. We see that oftentimes when parents go to court and they're fighting over school choice. Mom wants child to go to school A, dad wants child to go to school B. If the two are unable to communicate and the two are unable to reach a resolution, sometimes the courts, if they find it egregious enough, will say one party gets impasse authority over school decisions going forward so we don't end up here in court again.